So here's the thing. This video is not going to go to plan. This is going to be a little chat between friends. I'm going to talk to you guys about my thoughts moving into a new journal and my reflection of my current journal and kind of where I'm at going forward into this new notebook. The first thing I thought about before this guy was even here, this is an Archer and Olive notebook. I actually did a first impressions of this notebook that was really detailed, but I know I like all the info, so I wanted to provide that for someone else who might be in similar shoes that I was when I was researching this notebook. The first thing that I did to start the bullet journal migration process was to think about the notebook that I wanted to buy to migrate into. This is actually something I think is really important because you want to make sure that the notebook, which is literally holding your entire journal together and is literally part of your journal every single second of the day, is working for you and it's serving you in the best way possible. A couple things I thought about with my old journal, which is this Lichtstrom 1917. It's actually in a clear cover with like some tabs going on right now, so you can't actually tell it's a Lichtstrom 1917. A big determinant for why I decided to change notebooks was because I wanted some pages that didn't ghost as easily and were a bit thicker, and I also wanted a cover that I liked a little bit better. I didn't want to have to be constantly buying new covers to put over the cover of my journal. I just wanted to kind of be able to buy a notebook and it be fully suited to my needs as it was, which is why I bought this one. The next thing I actually did when I was getting ready to move into this journal was I took out my handy dandy bullet journal method book by Ryder Carroll, the creator of the bullet journal, and I went to his section on migration, which is here, and I did a little bit of research, reading through what he defined as migration, how he would migrate into a new notebook. There's actually a section right here dedicated to it and how he talks about migrating. Sometimes it's helpful to go back to the basics and see what the creator or the original person suggests and either go with that or, kind of like I did, completely ball it up and throw it out the window and go in a completely different direction. So then I decided to get really reflective. I created a spread in my journal and I called it a journal reflection. I first wrote the title, which is my current journal, and I wrote down a list of things that worked, things that didn't work, what I wanted to do more of in my journal going forward into the new one, what I wanted to do less of going forward into the new journal. And then after I went through that, I made a separate list on the bottom with spreads to keep and move into my new journal, spreads to leave in my current journal or not move into my new journal, and new spreads I wanted to add to my journal. When I was going through the spreads that worked and didn't work, I noticed that a lot of the initial spreads that I made for my journal actually worked really, really well. My key, besides like one signifier, was working great. My index was perfect. I loved that. If any of you are over on my Instagram, you guys know my index is my favorite part of my journal. I don't know, just seeing like everything laid out makes me really happy. My future log, again, super great, loved that. And you know, I had some collection spreads like my 2019 goals and my reading list, which were also working really, really well. This is my current key in my journal. I just keep it on a sticky note because for two reasons. I like being able to move it around. When I was new to bullet journaling, this was really helpful because then I could stick it down on the page I was working on and remember all my signifiers. And the second reason was if I wrote the key directly into my journal, if I wanted to change anything in my key or cross something out or take it out, I didn't have to just like kind of scribble it out on my journal. I could just make a new sticky note and then stick that in. I like to keep the sticky notes that I use on hand in case there's like a key emergency and I need a new one immediately. So let's write, I think I'm gonna do key in like a bit more fun. There we go. I think you guys can see a little better there. A bit more like of a fun cursive. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I like that. We're gonna keep it. This video just keeps getting more and more spontaneous because my camera, which is my iPhone, overheated and shut off, which is kind of concerning, but you know, let's just leave that for another time. Unfortunately, you guys didn't see me doing the rest of my key. I'm really sorry about that. I wish you had seen it because I was chatting a bit while I was doing it, but pretty much I finished off my key. I decided to remove the purchase signifier because now I like to track my purchases in an expense tracker for the month, so it has its own separate little section. Oh, by the way, these post-it notes are by Cloth and Paper. I'll make sure to link all my supplies below, but isn't the marble just like the most beautiful thing ever? Like, I feel like there's good marble and then there's like questionable / like bad marble in like sticky notes and stuff, and like you can tell when it's like a good marble, and this is a good marble. So now on to the new journal. Something that I already filled out in this journal before this setup is my pen test. I did this in my first impressions video, which I already mentioned to you guys, so that will be probably in a card right now if you want to check it out. But I just used the last page to do that because I didn't want to use any of the actual dockered pages because this notebook is like not super cheap, so I am not wasting one page on anything that is not journaling. This is my key spread. I actually usually never fill out the "this book belongs to" spread. Is that like super weird? I know a lot of people actually like doing it, but I don't know. I like know this notebook belongs to me. Like, who else would it belong to? It's my notebook. It's me. I know who I am. Maybe I'll just write me just to be like ironic. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is I might do like a quote situation or like a August to December 2019. I think I'll just leave this for now. I'm not gonna write my name in yet. I will do my regular index here because I don't think I'll need more than 2 pages. And then I'll do my uni index here. Oh, the first page of the journal is like absolutely the worst. Ooh. Ooh, this is cute. All right. Oh, yes. Okay. For it being like the first spread and like you're nervous and you're stressed out like I am not mad at that. This is also when I'm gonna find out how the transferring is on these pages, which there's none, so that's great. Oh, wait, let's see the ghosting. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. Did I just say no ghosting was beautiful? If anyone wants to know, a dedicated index is when you have a separate index for one specific area of your journal. So for example, if you have your journal and you have a work dedicated index, then in that index you only write pages that are specific to work. This is also like a good thing to do if you have like, you know, a big project. Maybe you're like renovating your house, having like a house dedicated index, so you can have all your notes referenced in one place. I find it helpful for university because I don't have a ton of notes, but the notes I do have are pretty important. So that is the index, that's my dedicated index, and yeah, so that's it. Okay, so that is my second half of 2019 bullet journal migration. I hope this video is helpful for someone who's looking for maybe seeing different ways people migrate and, seeing how everyone does their own thing, and maybe that'll encourage you to do your own thing. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I want to hear about your stories with bullet journal migration in the comments below. Have you had a similar situation to me where you're conflicted about what to move? Or, did you want to literally move everything and that worked super well for you? Until next time, I will see you next time. Love you guys. Bye.